guys, welcome back to another vlog. So this is the third vlog of my 12 Days of Christmas series, and it is actually my 31st birthday. This morning, as you saw, I just took a reformer Pilates class for the very first time, and it was so nice. I am definitely obsessed and will be back, and the studio was absolutely amazing, beautiful, so like serene and calm. The teacher was so sweet, so definitely become a Pilates girl, I think. Definitely a change of pace for me as well. But this vlog, I just want to share a little bit of my birthday with you guys. Definitely wanted to share my updated makeup routine for going out, and just kind of talk through a few things that I know now in my 30s that I wish my 20-year-old self kind of knew. As you can see, it's snowing, so I'm just gonna be taking in this beautiful winter weather, walking around the city a little bit, and then probably meet my husband for lunch. And I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Guys, as you can tell, it is time to get ready, and I thought I would get ready with you guys and just share my current, getting ready to go out makeup. It's a bit more than I usually do every day. I usually just do concealer and a little bit of blush and mascara during the week when I need to, and then if I'm ever going out, it's a little bit more extensive. I wouldn't say extremely, but I also thought I would make a list of 13 things I now know that I wish I knew in my 20s. It's crazy to think I'm 31 years old and I still feel like I'm 25, but I really do feel like I've grown so much and learned so much. Even in 1 year of my 30s, I feel like so much perspective has come, and I just thought I could share it with you guys. So it's going to be a little bit back and forth, but I thought it would be fun. As always, prep the skin first. I did all of my moisturizer already. I'm going to be putting on an illuminator. I just did my eye drops. Take these guys off. I like to wear these when I'm blow drying my hair just to get some more moisture under the eye, because it's definitely needed. That being said, the first thing on my list of things I wish I knew was to wear sunscreen and take care of your skin every day. You don't have to have a 25-step skincare routine like most people you see on the internet do, but I think it's important to start while you're young, because it really does help you sustain your skin and just keep it kind of in a great condition, so you don't have to worry about anything in the future, I guess, starting too soon, like wrinkles or dark spots. I definitely have seen a change in my skin, and I wish when I was younger I wore sunscreen more. I think I have an olive skin tone and I don't burn easily, but that doesn't matter. Even when it's dark outside, you should be wearing sunscreen. So that's one thing. Definitely do. And a must on my list, I just went in with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Primer. I love this stuff. I feel like it does give my skin a nice glow that it needs before putting the rest of my product on. Next, I'm going to be going in with my concealer, and as you can see, I have a bunch, all serve different purposes. I'm actually not going to use that one today. I'm going to use the Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer by Charlotte Tilbury under my eyes, the Tarte Creaseless Concealer on any blemishes or dark spots that I have, and also the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer on some dark spots as well. The next thing on my list is falling out of love is okay and will make sense when the time is right. I think we've all been through it where we were at a point in our 20s where we were wondering if we were ever going to find that person, and luckily, as you know, I did, but there was some times where it really felt like I was going to be single forever and not find the one. Everything really does happen for a reason, and maybe those relationships that you were in didn't work out because they weren't supposed to. So really just take everything as a learning process and just know that your person is out there. I truly believe there's a person for everyone, and they will come along. Next, I'm going to be doing some contour, and I really have been liking this NARS Laguna Bronzing Cream as my contour. I've had it forever, but it's honestly my favorite. I've tried the Charlotte Tilbury and all of those, but this I feel like is just way more blendable and gives me that contour that I really am looking for. This is hard to do on camera. Now that I'm all contoured, let's go on to number 4. You don't have to stay friends with people that you grew up with, that's okay. I learned a lot in my 20s that you don't have to be friends with everyone, and I honestly really did stress myself out way too much about it. I've lost so many friends in my 20s. But realizing now that the people that I have close to me and that I continue to stay friends with throughout my life, throughout my 20s, were all people that I know I can count on, that share the same interests as I do, and I think that's just the important thing. You don't have to make yourself fit in a certain group just because you've known them forever, or I don't know, you live near each other. It's totally fine to meet new people and also just kind of cut people off in a way that just don't really serve a purpose in your own life. Being said, I think it's also super important to continue to meet new people and to make new friends, just because you're always changing, your life is always evolving, and I think it's really good to get out there and try to meet new people and see maybe other people's perspectives, and maybe you'll even gravitate more towards those people and even learn something from them. So I just underpainted, I guess you would call it, and now I'm gonna do my foundation. I personally really love the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. I've mentioned in the past that I have acne-prone skin, and I feel like this really has never broken me out. I've never had any irritation from it, and I just really love the finish on it. It's not too heavy. I really don't like heavy foundation. I took 5.5. This is actually a new shade. I used to use 5.9, but I felt like the 5.5 kind of suited me better, so I'm gonna go in with this. What I do is I just put a little bit on my hand. I forgot where I saw that, but I feel like it's much better. You don't waste a lot and it's not stuck on the back of your hand. And I'll just pat and go in directly to my face. Whatever you do, do not forget your neck and your chest, especially if you're wearing a lower cut shirt. Definitely don't forget your décolletage. It's super important because even if you got your neck, then you look different at your chest and it just really doesn't look right. Next thing on my list is water heals all. You guys, I was the worst at drinking water, and getting more into fitness and becoming a personal trainer, I really learned the benefits of drinking water and making sure you're hydrated, not only for your internal self, but also your skin. It makes you just look so much more hydrated and plump and just not so like sucked in. So definitely make sure to drink your water. The next thing on my list is stop obsessing over what you look like. No one cares about your own insecurities. I can't say that I've fully taught myself this, because I too definitely have a ton of insecurities, and I've definitely been growing more and just kind of realizing that it doesn't matter and everyone is unique, and you know, no one is staring at you and thinking what you're thinking in your head. So definitely just let it go, and just because you don't look like the next person doesn't mean that you aren't beautiful, because you are. So that is something I've been preaching to myself these past couple of years, and I've really been kind of honing in on during my 30s. So now I'm going to do my creamy kind of bronzer stick on my face. And I usually do it on my eyelids as well, just for a little pop of color. I'll put it on my right below my cheekbone here, because then I'll do my blush right on the top. So first I'm going to go with this. This is the Nina No Rules stick in color 114. I've actually really loved this stuff. It's clean beauty. It doesn't clog your pores, break you out. So I've been loving this stuff, and I use it pretty much every day as like my blush. A little bit on my nose, eyelids. I put a little bit on my lips again, just to have a little bit more emphasis on the lips. I did contour there. Always blending up with your brush, with anything really, just to make sure that your face is getting sculpted and lifted. Number 7 actually really hits home for me currently, actually, as well, is you have time to start a family if that's what you want. Don't let people push you along your timeline, because in the end, you're the one going through it and not them. I think once I got married, not necessarily once I turned 30, did I have people kind of asking me, oh, when are you having kids? When are you having kids? Which, in my opinion, that is probably one of the most rudest things to ever ask any woman, because A, you don't know if she wants to have kids, and B, maybe she's been trying and it's been a struggle. So I just think that as women, we have a lot of pressure to start a family, especially right after you get married or right when you turn 30, and people kind of put these things that necessarily aren't true in your head, that you have only a short amount of time to get pregnant, have kids, have a family, when that's not the case. I also have been fighting this eternally with myself, because I kind of gave myself a timeline and have been struggling because I have family or friends that have kids, and I really want to be with them, kind of our kids or friends. Or I think that's something that you really shouldn't pressure yourself about. When it's time, when it's supposed to happen, that's when it's going to happen. And this is something that I really have learned in the past year, that it is what it is. When it's meant to be, it is meant to be. Now I'm going to go in with my NARS Orgasm Liquid Blush. I've had this forever. You guys know I love this stuff. And I will just put a little bit on my cheekbones and maybe a little bit on my nose and just kind of blend it out. It is very pigmented, but I love blush. I'm a blush girl. I probably will even put a little bit on at the end. Again, some powder blush just to emphasize it more. Put a little bit on the cheekbone and on the nose. A little bit more of this Radiant concealer on my eyes, just to make sure they're extra bright and make sure everything is very lifted in my eye area. before I go in with the dry product, I'm going to spray my first spray of my setting spray. I love the Urban Decay one. Do another thing on my list. Enjoy all the small things in life, aka romanticizing your life. I really do love that trend, and I think it's really important to take everything and just make sure that you are enjoying every little thing in your life, because everything is beautiful, no matter if it's extravagant or the littlest thing that just makes you happy, like lighting a candle. Next one is, just because you are in the place you thought you'd be in life doesn't mean you won't get there. This is very broad and you can go with a lot of things. I talked about your love life, your friend's life. A big thing for me is my career. I've had the same career for pretty much since I graduated college, and I always have kind of stressed a little bit thinking I wasn't in the place where I should be. One day I will be, because it doesn't matter how old you are, you can always change your life and you can always grow and continue to grow and do the things that you want and know you can do. Okay, next up I'm going to be doing is another one of the Nima, the Glow Bronzing Powder. And I really love it because it has like this shimmer to it, but it's also not just, has all these different pigments which are so beautiful and like really blend nicely with the rest of my foundation and just stuff that I have on my skin. So I'll take a really big fluffy brush and just start at my chin area, because that's usually the lightest. Go down to my neck, chest, again, making sure everything is the same color here. The next thing on my list is do things that seem hard or that you're scared to do, because most likely they will turn out better than you'd imagine. For me, moving to Switzerland, meeting new friends, starting a YouTube, all those things kind of seemed really out of grasp and hard and just scary to me. And I think I've learned a lot from doing these things, and in the past 2 years I've done all of this stuff, and I feel very proud of myself for doing these things. But I have recently started to add eyelashes, and while I have really long eyelashes, I like that when you add a little bit of singles, they look a little bit fuller. So I've been doing that and I've been really liking it. First, I'll curl my eyelashes a little bit. I've been using these Ardell lash trios, and I'll use probably like 4 on each eye. This is a little bit of a struggle for me, but we're doing hard things. We're getting out of our comfort zone. So what you'll do is you'll take a little tweezer here, blow on it a little bit just to make sure it's not so wet and that's a little dry, and add it, start from the corner and work in. So that took me longer than I thought, but I just finished putting my eyelashes on. As you can see, they're not crazy, but they just add a little bit more volume and a little bit more elevation to my everyday makeup. So second to last note on my 13 things is make sure you're making your health your priority. I've always been a very active person. I've played sports all my life, but just recently I've just been really making sure that I'm taking care of myself from the inside and eating right, drinking water, as I said, working out when it feels right to me, doing the exercises that feel right to me. I feel like there's so much you can see on social media, and to be honest with you, a lot of it is probably fake. And people are taking all these supplements and maybe doing certain things, and that just might be not realistic for you. And I think it's really important to just make sure you take yourself into consideration, see where you need to focus for your health. That could be with your nutrition, that could be with your fitness, but I think it's super important. And as you get older, it is super beneficial to you if you start earlier to make sure that you're not drinking as much alcohol or that you're eating a well-balanced diet. So that is something that has really been important to me in my 30s. The final steps of my makeup. I am going to do my eyebrows now, and it's really nothing crazy. I don't like to pencil them in because I just feel like I look a little weird with them, and brow gel, if you are new here, you would know I have struggled with, and they have just really left my eyebrows super flaky and just not the vibe that I'm going for. So that being said, I usually just take a little cotton pad and damp it a bit and then brush over my brows after I do my makeup to get all of that excess makeup foundation off, just so they're nice and dark the way that they naturally are. Just go in and brush them up with a spoolie. Lastly, I will take my Vaseline and put the spoolie on the interior, right on the edge, so it's not too much, and get it a little bit on the spoolie and then brush up my brows with it. I feel like this really gives me like the lifted look that I like and the laminated without the dryness happening, and this is definitely hydrating my eyebrows at the same time. Then for my lips, I'm going to use this. It's probably a MAC liner that I've had forever in this darker shade, and just line them here and on top just to make them look a little bit more full. Then I'm going to take this really thin brush and just kind of blend it in, just so it's not a crazy line. I'm going to use my Buxom Plum Shot Plumping Lip Gloss. Just a clear gloss that just plumps your lips up really nicely. And also it has collagen in it, so it helps hydrate and plump. I'm going to add a little bit more blush. I'm going to use the same NARS Orgasm blush, but in the powder form. Last spray of the Urban Decay All Nighter Spray. And the last thing on my list is compliment yourself like you compliment others. Compliment yourself and make sure that you're giving yourself the love that you need, and that makes your self-esteem and your self-worth so much better. And it's not narcissistic, it's just being proud of yourself really helps you grow as a person and also helps you be a better person to other people. Thank you guys so much for joining me for my 31st birthday. It was really nice. I'm heading to dinner tonight with my in-laws and my brother-in-law just to end off the weekend. But as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do consider subscribing because it really does help me create more content for you. And I hope you join me for vlog number 4.